See, you start talking about the corruption in San Francisco and they cut you off. So, like I was saying, I was reading an article that half of the budget that they have for sanitation in San Francisco, more than half of it goes to cleaning the poop and picking up the hypodermic needles on the streets. And they were saying it looks like they haven't even done it. There's piss-ridden alleys. They could spend all of their budget on that and not do any other cleaning needs in the whole city. And then you hear them saying, well, now we need federal money. No, what you need to do is control what you have, firstly. Putting more money to the problem when you already can't manage what you have is ridiculous. How dirty is San Francisco? The NBC Bay Area investigation reveals the dangerous mix of drug needles, garbage, and feces throughout downtown San Francisco. The investigative unit surveyed 153 blocks in the city. The more than 20-mile stretch includes popular tourist spots like Union Square and major hotel chains. The area, bordered by Van Ness Avenue, Market Street, Post Street, and Grand Avenue, is also home to City Hall, schools, playgrounds, and a police station. As the investigative unit photographed, nearly a dozen hypodermic needles scattered across one block. A group of preschool students happened to walk by on their way to afternoon field trip to City Hall. We see poop, we see pee, we see needles, and we see trash, said teacher Adelita Oriolana. Sometimes they ask us what it is, and that's a conversation that's a little difficult to have with a 2-year-old. But we just let them know those things are full of germs, they're dangerous, and they should never be touched. In light of the dangerous condition, part of Oriolana's responsibilities now include teaching young children how to avoid contamination. The floor is dirty, said a 3-year-old student at the preschool, who irately explained having to navigate dirty conditions on her walk to school. There's poop in there, she exclaimed. That makes me angry. This is what our kids are saying. And it's going to come to any town near you that they let this liberalism survive and thrive. Like I was saying, this article even explains, it says, dirty feces can lead to airborne viruses. If you do get stuck with these disposed needles, you can get HIV, hepatitis C, hepatitis B, and a variety of other viral diseases. Once the fecal matter dries, it becomes airborne, releasing potentially dangerous viruses such as rotavirus. If you happen to inhale that, it can also go into your intestines. The results can prove fatal, especially in children. And this is what they let go on, because they refuse to do anything about the bum population. They encourage it. They want to be sanctuary, love, peace, harmony. And now all you're going to get is the people that work hard, that want to create a good life, that have kids, are going to move out of there. And some of those people think they'll win because they don't like kids. Well, it's not going to be. When you don't have families taking care of stuff, it's not a win. It's only a loss. So once again, I'll remind you, there'll be a garage sale blowout. Everything you need, from tools, baseball cards, football cards, basketball cards, books, glassware, kitchenware, toys, baby items, clothes, records, furniture, electronics, and much, much more. With over 12 tables and yards full of items. We'll have free stuff, cheap stuff, and pricey stuff at 1715 West 6th Street. That is 1715 West 6th Street, right by Dobson Road and University Drive in Mesa. Get deals Saturday, February 25th, and Sunday, not Saturday, February 24th, and Sunday, February 25th, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Stop wasting money and time waiting in lines. Shop here often and early. Now, one last thing we have to definitely cover. And I wish I had time to do a full expose on this and pictures and all this stuff. Shoot video, I might. If this thing doesn't get under control really soon, it's really getting annoying for me. I talked to my wife about it, and she's not as annoyed as me. But maybe it's just me overreacting, but I'm telling you, it's what I thought it would be. It's these bikes on the streets. Now, they're all over the town. I live in Mesa. There's Olo, there's Lime Bike, this bike, that bike. It'll rent a bike. So you can rent a bicycle and go wherever. My problem is people leave these things anywhere. There was one on my block the other day. There's one on the corner of the street. Actually, I've seen 3 different ones on corner streets. I saw them right in front of the bus stop, like not by the bus stop where you could put a bike, but right in front of it. So you have to walk around the stupid bike to sit down. And I'm sure when these things aren't paid, they don't roll. So now it's in your way forever, until somebody picks it up. And that's, another thing. The town of Phoenix is going to pick up these bikes all over Phoenix and bring them back to where they belong. That's a waste of taxpayer money. It's done by councilmen, but I'm sure they're writing off their mileage, so that's even more expensive. And I mean, these things they're a disgrace to town. They look just horrible. You see them there. And you have it almost getting run over by one. Some dude almost ran into me just the other day. I was walking down the store and he's riding, but they don't care. They're not their bikes. They couldn't care less. And like I said, they're being left everywhere. I mean, I'm sure some of them are going to fall into the street because they're hanging on the edge of a corner. Oh my gosh, I don't know. We don't need so many. We just don't need them, and they don't make sense in general. I can understand if it's a beach area; those are a great idea. Maybe by the park having a few, but they're all over town, and I don't understand. I was sitting the other day somewhere and had a story on these bikes. And the lady was telling me, well, they're for people who can afford transportation. And I'm thinking, the bike rental fee alone, you rent that bike a few times a month, you could have bought one of the swap meet for $25. Heck, you can go to the garage sale blowout and buy a bike, for under $50. That's more than renting it a few times here. So you're not really saving any money. I mean, my wife pointed out if you have an apartment, you can't fit it. But you know what? You can find a way to fit a bike in your apartment to save the money. And if you don't have the money, why are you wasting on that bike? Maybe that's why you are in the situation that you're in now, and now you're renting bikes. Oh my gosh. I'm sure they're going to have them by bars, and you'll have idiots driving on the bikes drunk. Oh, what else can no interest in seeing these things. I mean, I just don't. I don't have any interest in seeing them unless it's by the beach, unless it's, by the park, have a few, not 20 of them, and then I see that they're in the fire department. Why are the rental bikes in the fire department? Are they renting out part of the fire department's garage? I don't know. Are we, the taxpayer, making some money on that? Because if it's not providing us money too, if we're not getting paid for all this stuff, taking up public land and public space, then it's even more concerning. At least if we're making some of the deals to provide some services, something for kids, for our parks, make them look better, I could be more open to the idea. But if we're not getting compensated for this stuff and we're putting up with this mess and disgrace, you know what? And I know it's, people that can't. Look, you got to take some responsibility for yourself. If you can't afford a bicycle to buy your own, I mean, are you even an adult? Stop with the people can't afford stuff, especially if you don't have kids. Let me tell you, I understand when you have kids, it gets tough. Things are hard. You have a lot of mouths to feed. You have insurance, medical bills. You want your kids to go to programs. That's one thing. But when you're a single person, there's not really much struggle. I'm sorry. I always felt like when I was single, if I didn't have enough money, I just got an extra job. I did work. I did something. I offered a service. I did some work. Whether it was selling things, whether it was, like I said, getting a second job, finding out where I could do some work to get paid, whatever it was, cut back on my spending. I did it. And most people can do. As long as you're healthy and can work, there's no excuse why you can't go out and support yourself. Like I said, when you have kids, a family, I understand when you're supporting other people, but yourself, as a grown adult who is fit, there's no excuse. no excuse to not be able to support yourself. Get the bikes out of here. I know that's long-winded and just went beyond the whole bike thing, but seriously, let's get the bikes out of here, except for by the beaches and bike parks. What do we have? We're already past the midway point of February. We just had President's Day. Next week's show, we'll be doing we'll have to do the UFC. That's in the first week of March. Maybe we'll get to some baseball. Let's write some notes on that so I know what I'm doing for next week, right? Let's see here. Now, baseball predictions, we probably got another week on that. So we'll definitely have the UFC the week after. Baseball predictions. God, if you can only see how bad handwriting is, it's really bad. Let me tell you that. And yeah, baseball predictions will be good. Or, I guess when we get to the playoffs and stuff. Olympics, what can we say about the Olympics? It's been a bust for America. Our medal count's low. All we hear is people making political statements, complaining about this and that. We're just not winning. It's sad. A lot of people who we sent. It's the biggest Olympic team I think we've had in the winter and in the winter games, and the lack of medals we have is pretty horrific. I don't know. I have watched some Olympics. It hasn't been super exciting. A lot of it's too, it's like either late at night or you got to catch up in a weird time. Like, I just don't understand, like, when you have Olympic coverage, just cover all the time, show something. Show what's live when it's live, and then when there's nothing live, show tape stuff for the other part of the audience to catch. They should really just do it on, like, 2 to 3 channels. And, just the coverage we get from the network, they pay so much money, and it's like their coverage is pretty poor in general. I don't know. It just seems pretty poor to me. And then what they show, like, I don't know. Some of the things are interesting. I was watching the other day, the skiing was actually pretty good. The skiing and shooting, like the biathlon, that was really cool. I find that interesting because you don't see that everywhere, and it's just amazing what this was a woman's one I was watching. Amazing what these girls can do to ski. They'd probably be out of breath and pass out, and then to get up there and shoot 5 straight shots in a row and hit a target, and then pop the gun back on and off to the next one. Truly amazing. But then you see they're showing like curling matches where a team's down like 8-2. It's not even US. Like, why would anyone want to watch this? It's not an interesting match. It's over. They're not coming back. There's 1 round left. I'm not a super, knowledgeable person on curling, but I still know when you're down by 6 and there's only 1 frame left, it's over. Let's move on to something more exciting. These are Olympics. There's so much going on. Just keep us with exciting things. That's what we want in society now. And we want good stuff because it's a rare event. Thank you for tuning in to the Reality Check. My name's Ben Shennerman, and we'll see you next week.